In this video, I'm going to demonstrate using PostTrans for Sage 200 to edit project structures and budgets. PostTrans is a simple Excel add-in which, when added to Excel, allows us to extract project templates and existing project structures from Sage 200 into Excel. Once into Excel, we can edit that structure, add budgets, costs, etc., additional information, which when posted back has Sage business rules and validation applied. Of course, the data can come from manual input, extraction, or from CSV file. This is the first of several videos. The first video, I'm going to actually create a project from an existing template within Sage 200. Then I'm going to move on and copy a project, edit it, and paste it back into Sage. Now we can do this for a single project, a list of projects, or all projects for customers, and apply all sorts of criteria, etc. Then next I'm going to move on to using PostTrans with manual project creation turned on. So instead of having Sage 200 apply a automatic project code, that will be turned off. So in the fourth video, we're going to demonstrate how to edit project titles very easily. In the fifth video, we'll show how we can create a bespoke template for a project manager to fill in and easily post that information to create a new project and its structure within Sage 200, saving the accountant a lot of time. In the sixth video, I'll discuss updating project items and extracting phases and groups into a template. In the seventh video, I'm going to discuss setting budgets by periods, and in the future we may add additional videos to the series. If I move too fast in this video, simply press the space bar to pause the video. So let's see the product in action. Here I am on my PostTrans toolbar. I'm just going to press the help button, and here we can see we've got a whole series of examples that come with PostTrans. I'm going to type in here project, and now you can see the list is now filtered down to just projects, and there's one here called project structure and budgets. Now this requires our projects module to use all this functionality, so I'm just going to double click on there. So we can now see we've got a template open. As with all PostTrans static templates, we've got a series of tags in row 1 which designate the columns for the data to be pushed and pulled backwards and forwards between Exchequer and Sage 200. We can customize this. There's an online training course under the Sage 200 menu on our website which explains how to customize and alter that. But effectively, if we go into the tags window, you can see here we have a whole list of the tags to access our project structure data. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract a template, and we've got some templates in Sage. I'm just going to type in here ADV, and effectively this is a search column. Now when I type something in here, if I've got automatic job numbering on, if it's a number, then it will search for a job and extract that job, which we'll see in the second video being used. If I type anything else, it will actually bring up a template. So I know I've got one starting with ADV. It's Advanced Kitchen Installation. And now what that's just doing is it's opening the Sage database for the first time today, and it's populating the spreadsheet with the values from that template. So let's just discuss the structure of this template to some extent. Here we've got what we call a CRC code, and that allows PostTrans to detect changes in each individual line. So you can actually pull out an existing job and just update one single line within that job if you wish. But we just pulled through a template, so you can see here it's written in this column E, which says job. That's for the job code to go into. It's written new _ advanced kitchen project template, because that's the template I just extracted. Now because it's got new underscore in front of it, when I post it, PostTrans will know that that's going to be a new project. Now X will also, if X was entered in there, that will also tell PostTrans it's a new project. We know it's a new project, so we can give it a new name. We could say it's Sam's new project, and that's named our project. So Having posted that project, we'll see that the job code, the new job code that Sage 200 will apply to this posting, will be written back to this cell. Now, what else have we got? Let's have a look. We've got a whole column here with L1, L2, and L3, and we've actually turned on data grouping here, which is actually accessible from within here. You highlight the columns or rows and you can group them to enable us to hide certain columns. In this case, we've got up to 10 levels. Okay, I think it's fairly unlikely that anybody would want to go over 4 or 5. Let's just close that up. But what that enables us to do is it enables us to represent the tree structure of the job. So here we have our project code, that's our root level, and then we have a phase. Now phases are prefixed with full stop, and then project items are just simply entered below the phase on the appropriate level. So I could just quickly demonstrate that. If I type in here phase, full stop, and the start of phase, you can see here I can search for my phases, and it's now filled that line in. And now if I wanted to add a project item, I can simply type CAD, and now that's brought up my CAD project item. Now I think I'll delete that in a little bit before I post it. But let's move through. So that's how the structure is working. Here's the project title. And we can see here, here's the cost quantity and value, which is the kind of default value which has been set on that template, or against a project item if I add it to the project structure. Here on the right, I can see that certain project codes have a revenue quantity and a value, so therefore we can see it currently that they're set to 0. So I could simply overtype any of these values. Indeed, I can even add an additional project item to the job quite easily before I post it. So I could add tiling in there, and you can see through it's brought tiling out. So I can basically edit the structure to some extent. Oh, we've already got 2 tiling, but let's just delete that. But that's how I would add underneath that phase 3 tiling as a project cost item. In fact, let's just switch to Sage 200 and let's go down to project templates. We'll just show the structure in Sage 200. So there's my advanced template on the screen to the right hand side, and I think if we expand it down, we can see there we've got our consultant phase, our phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and kitchen sale, which is a revenue project item at the bottom. So let's just expand that down so we can see there we've got design underneath consultant. Indeed, we've got 3 projects followed by 4, etc. So you can see there how PostTrans has represented that structure in the Excel template. So of course these cost values and quantities, they're accessible underneath here. So we've got 4 at 20, etc. And we can add extra tags. We can access just about all this information from within Excel. We've just extracted this information from actually Sage 200, but there's nothing stopping us bringing this in from a CSV file or actually physically manually typing it in if we wish. We didn't actually have to extract it from Sage at all. Now, if I just expand some of these other regions here, you'll find there's a few other pieces of data there. There's my unit cost, my uplift, and my unit of measure. But over to the right here is all my additional information relating to each line of the project. So let's just go back to our project. So what is this all about? Well, this is all about the additional information we find down here. So what we can do is we can add to the spreadsheet a whole series of tags, and we need enough to represent all the items in this list. So currently I've got 6. So effectively PJ add 1 is the label for the first additional information in the list. followed by its value. And then 2 is the second, third, and fourth. So as we extract it from Sage, it's populating this. Now we can see these asterisks and little arrows up. Now if you've watched the tutorial on how PostTrans works, you'll understand that the arrow up signifies in the cell searching. So if I was to press space in here and tab away, I can see all the values that I would access if I went in and selected the same value in Sage. So I can simply set that value from within my spreadsheet. Now, if I was bringing this in from a CSV file, I don't actually need the asterisk and the arrow up or the colon after it. If I basically say region in this column here and I set that to Midlands, and then I set this to days taken and 4, then that would do exactly the same thing. They don't have to be in this order. As long as the label has the name of the following data, then that will set that data against any phase, project, or project item. So that makes PostTrans extremely flexible. Okay, now I added phase 5 to the sheet, which let's actually do that again. Let's delete phase 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add it and another item down here. So let's go full stop again, which signifies that I'm going to add a group or a phase. So now I'm just typing in the start of it, so my little search box pops up and helps me out. And now you can see PostTrans filled in the whole row with all the default values. And I've actually got a project item called snagging, so I'm just going to add snagging. So of course I could set that to 4 hours. Okay, so the cost rate is 150. Of course, we didn't edit many values in there. Maybe we should pop in 99 there. Oh, let's put a little bit more sensible value. But you can see how we can edit all that. So we've basically brought it through from a template and we've edited some values. So now we're basically ready to post it into Sage 200. Okay, so in order to post it, let's just press the import button. And what PostTrans will do is now scan down there and read all the data. But first it will just warn me various things, various rules that are imposed. Okay, let's just remove this Sage window here and this window. So what are we seeing here? So we're now seeing everything that was read from the spreadsheet. So we can see there it's a new project. We can see which Sage 200 company it's going into. We can see there that the project title is Sam's new project, and underneath here we've got the different phases, the different project items, kind of showing the representation of the structure. Plus we can see here the cost, quantity, budgets and values, and I think if we scroll down we should see our revenue at the bottom, and let's just post that. Oh, hang on, we haven't got a revenue value. Let's just set the revenue value, because that would be ridiculous. Let's just say no, I don't want to do that. So, I don't know, probably we would be adding up the number of hours, wouldn't we? I guess there's so many different ways people can use this system. But let's put 250 hours in at £75 an hour. So let's just post that again. Now what we see down the revenue, there we go, 250 hours at £75. Okay, so let's post that transaction, and now PostTrans has reported back 32 new lines have been added, no errors, etc. So if there were any errors there, they probably would have highlighted them in that confirmation box before I even tried to post it. But the errors are usually written down the left-hand side there, so you can correct them before carrying on. So I guess the proof is in the pudding. So let's just whiz over to Sage and find that new project. In fact, I should have explained here, of course, we've got automatic project numbering on. So as I said earlier, the project number has now been written back to this column. So we know it's project 24. So let's just refresh our list, and oh yes, there it is at the bottom. So now if I open it up, let's just rearrange the screen a second. So what can we say about this? Well, okay, so first of all we had the project number of 24 applied, so we can see it's the same project. We set the title, I do believe we edited the region and changed that to Midlands, so you can see that's been set. We set a budget on the revenue, so we should now have a budget on the revenue, correct. And we also added snagging and phase 5 to the project. We also then changed the quantity in here for these budgets here and here, which has been set. So you can see there we've used PostTrans to take a template, add some items, alter some values and some budgets, and all post it to Sage. In video number 5, we actually use a template a project manager can fill in very easily and then post straight into Sage. Now, you could save this template down we've just used to your hard drive and then use it as a front end to update this project within Sage 200 quite easily. You can easily add extra phases and project items to this template and then post them using the import button to update the project. The only thing you can't really do is rearrange the structure. You would actually have to go into Sage, rearrange the structure, and then extract it again using PostTrans by typing in maybe the project number here. So if I was to type in 24 here, we should see it will now clear down the spreadsheet and it will read everything back from Sage 200. Now it's also worth pointing out we've also got some settings in system settings here. So let's just go in there and just have a quick look at those. So you could see that we saw a summary of what it was about to post. We can turn that on and off. We can also say by default it always uses the titles for the phase or the project items set within Sage 200. But if we untick those, we can completely override those. And of course, you can use PostTrans to edit an existing project title in Sage 200 very easily. Now, also we've got an option here, if 0 unit cost or uplift, etc., then get the value from Sage when posting rather than the value entered. So if I have that turned on, any zeros will use the default value in Sage, which means then we can create a template. If the default values change in Sage over time, then we don't have to update the template all the time. So, okay, I think that about concludes the first part of this video.